Somewhere between the deadlines, the noise, and the endless scrolling, we forgot what peace feels like. You wake up tired. You chase the day before it even begins. You check messages, you check bills, you check people's lives, but you never check in with yourself. You smile when you're supposed to. You say you're fine when you're not. And every night you collapse into bed, wondering, why do I feel so empty when I'm doing everything right? You've tried to stay strong. You've told yourself it's just a phase. But deep down, something whispers, this isn't strength. This is survival. And that's where it begins, the slow, quiet drift into burnout.
Burnout doesn't arrive like a storm. It sneaks in like fog, slowly, softly, until you can't see where you're going anymore. At first, it's just tired mornings. Then it's the loss of excitement for the things you used to love. Then it's the silent exhaustion that even sleep can't cure. You stop laughing like you used to. You forget what rest feels like. And somewhere in that endless chase, you start to lose the sound of your own voice. You keep going because that's what strong people do, right? They push through, they hustle harder, they don't quit. But no one ever told you that constant strength can become its own kind of weakness. When you never stop, when you never pause, your fire doesn't grow, it burns out. We were never meant to live this way. Always running, never arriving. Even the sun disappears each night. Even the oceans pull back their waves to rest. But we've built a world that never stops spinning. And then we wonder why we feel dizzy. We check notifications more than we check our hearts. We chase validation more than meaning. We measure success by how busy we are, and we mistake exhaustion for achievement. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. Burnout is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you've been too strong for too long. It's your soul whispering, I can't carry this anymore. And maybe it's time you listen.
There's a moment when the noise gets too loud. You stop fighting it. You sit in silence, and at first, it feels uncomfortable. You want to grab your phone, distract yourself, run back to the chaos that's slowly killing you. But stay still, because beneath that discomfort lies the truth. You've been running from yourself. In silence, your real voice returns. In stillness, your heart begins to speak again. And it doesn't say, do more. It says, rest. It says, let go. It says, you are allowed to breathe. Balance doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what matters. It means learning the rhythm of your soul, when to rise, when to pause, and when to simply exist. You don't find balance by escaping your life. You find it by coming home to it, differently this time. Slower, kinder, more aware of what actually gives you life and what slowly takes it away. You see, peace was never gone. It was only buried beneath the expectations you thought you had to meet. You were never behind. You were simply buried under noise. And the moment you stop chasing, you begin to feel something you've forgotten. Stillness. Stillness isn't empty. It's full of answers.
Look around you. Everything in nature has balance. The tides rise and fall. The sun burns, then rests behind the horizon. Even trees shed their leaves to make space for new life. So why do you believe you must keep pushing when your own body and mind are asking for peace? You're not a machine. You're a human, made to feel, to rest, to love, to breathe. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop fighting the fatigue and start honoring it. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. Healing doesn't always look like success. Sometimes it looks like saying no. Sometimes it looks like turning off your phone.
Sometimes it looks like sitting alone in silence until your heart slows down and your breath finds its rhythm again. You don't owe anyone constant strength. You don't have to be on all the time. You are allowed to step back, to refill your cup, to become gentle with yourself again. Because when you rest, you don't lose progress, you gain clarity.
And then something beautiful happens. When you finally stop fighting for control, you discover peace was never something to earn. It was something to remember. The light you've been chasing was inside you all along. It just got dimmed by exhaustion, by guilt, by the weight of pretending you're fine. But the moment you start giving yourself permission to be real, to admit that you're tired, that's when healing begins. You start to notice small things again. The sound of rain on your window, the way sunlight touches your hands, the warmth of a quiet morning. Little things that used to pass unnoticed now become sacred. Because when you slow down, life stops rushing past you. It starts meeting you.
Maybe balance was never about time management, but energy alignment. Maybe it's not about doing everything, but about doing the things that make your soul feel alive. You don't need to live a perfect life. You just need to live a present one. The kind of life where you can breathe, where you can love deeply, and where you can rest without guilt. Because peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And burnout isn't a failure, it's an invitation. An invitation to rebuild your life, not around what the world demands, but around what your heart truly needs. There will be days when you fall again, when your mind feels heavy, and your body wants to quit. That's okay. Healing isn't linear. Some days will feel like peace, and others like chaos. But every time you choose to pause, to breathe, to realign, you come back stronger. Not stronger in the way the world defines it, louder, faster, tougher, but stronger in the quiet way that matters. Calm, aware, balanced. True strength isn't how much you endure, it's how deeply you understand yourself while enduring.
And one day, you'll look back and realize that burnout didn't destroy you. It refined you. It peeled away everything false, everything temporary, until only what's real remained. You'll realize that peace wasn't found in escaping your pain. It was born from walking through it with compassion. That's how you rise. Not by fighting harder, but by flowing wiser. Imagine this. You're standing on the edge of a cliff at sunrise. The air is quiet. The sky burns with soft gold. Behind you lies the chaos you once carried. Ahead of you, calm waves, endless and free. You take a breath. You don't need to run anymore. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to be. And in that moment, you finally understand what balance feels like. It's not the absence of struggle, it's the presence of peace within it. So if you're listening to this right now, and you're tired, overwhelmed, feeling lost in the noise, pause. Close your eyes and remember this. You are not broken. You are healing. You are not behind. You are becoming. This moment, this quiet breath, is your reset, your restart, your path back to yourself. You don't have to find peace. Just stop running from it. It's been waiting patiently beneath all the noise. Peace isn't something you chase. It's something you allow. And when you finally allow it, you'll realize that your greatest strength was never your ability to keep going. It was your courage to stop, to rest, and to begin again. Come back stronger, not by force, but by balance, by peace,
by remembering who you truly are. If this story spoke to you, maybe it's time to slow down and start your own journey from burnout to balance. Like this video, subscribe for more reflections, and remember, peace isn't lost, it's waiting.